Hello and welcome to the recap of day two in the Carly Gregg case. We started the day with more underage witnesses not on screen. We read what was transcribed, and the story that all these underage victims, I read the one from day one as well, seems to be a girl who was starting to get some kind of relationship with drugs. There was something. Did she only use the vape pens? Did she eat rooms? Did she partake in Colombia's favorite export product? There was different stories, but the stories all of them told was she was kind of normal. She was a little weird. She was drinking hand sanitizer, but at school the day of the incident, she had been presumed high, and someone had told her mom about it that he thought she was high. That could have been what maybe have led to some kind of argument. We don't know. We have no testimony about it. But all of them told this similar story that she seemed kind of normal, that she had some troubles, but that's all. That her relationship with the family seemed okay. And there was one witness talking about when he was going over there to visit her once, the stepdad had opened the door and said, "We don't know any Carly." And Carly had later texted him saying, "They were holding me down in my room, so I couldn't talk to you." But he didn't take that as truth. They kind of implied that she might be a little embellishing on her stories, but at least the stepdad didn't want her to meet with this guy. He was a little bit older, a guy she met in summer camp. So maybe that's why the stepdad thought that probably wasn't a good idea, especially if she had started acting out before that. But the same story, kind of drugs, starting to use it, being a weird girl. But you also had the girl who she called to the scene of the crime, who told the story about she comes over there, gets in the house. She's asked, "Are you screamers around dead bodies?" She said, I don't think so. And is shown the mother waits in the backyard while she pews the stepdad, and they run away. She is later brought back to the scene by her parents to talk to the police. And yeah, she has nothing to do with it other than she was a witness. The biggest thing yesterday was that her stepdad testified. He was clearly uncomfortable with that. We later found out he had obtained a lawyer, didn't want to cooperate with the police, but he still did it. But there was something there. There was a surveillance video where something went missing, where they tried to say to him, "Well, we don't want to charge you with the obstruction of justice." So clearly, he wasn't as forthcoming as they'd like. His story was got the text, felt not natural for his wife to text that way to him, didn't use the normal nicknames they had. When he arrived at the house, Carly is screaming, hollering, seeming out of it. He thinks there's an intruder in the house, goes looking for it, and she pews him. He's shot in the traps, so he's pretty close to being also shot in the face, and very lucky that nothing else happened than a through and through in the shoulder. We heard him on the surveillance tapes day one. He was clearly out of his mind when he was calling 911. It he wrestled the gun from Carly before she ran away, and the story he was telling was how he came home. This happened to him. Then he looked in the house and found his dead wife in Carly's room with her hands across her chest and a towel covering her face. And he could tell, well, she's been clearly pew pew. There's blood everywhere. He seemed so uncomfortable on the stand. Him and his family, her family, have been trying to help Carly every time ever since this happened. I know some people started speculating, which I think was highly well, not I'm not going to be angry about that again today, but this guy clearly didn't want to testify against his daughter. Well, he saw her as a biological daughter. They had been married for a short while, the mother and him. He described it, we are still in our honeymoon period. He didn't know about the drug abuse. He didn't find out about it until the police told him that they had found those vape pens. So the drug abuse clearly wasn't why they got her some therapy. Well, according to him, maybe the mom had knowledge of it. There was a security camera that was missing, that was found in a refrigerator, and he claims the last time he'd seen it, it had been plugged in the day before the incident. Um, that was, I don't know, uh, but he told the investigators that he found that camera in the refrigerator and gave them access to search the SD card on it. There were some missing files, and he was again threatened with obstruction of justice or tampering with evidence if he didn't comply. To me, it came off like a guy who really didn't want to be there. He has contacted Carly multiple times. They talk when she's in prison. He told that Ashley and Carly had a good relationship, and they spent a lot of time together. They liked the same things. Um, he talked about how Ashley, the mother, had lost another child previously, and that's why she was very concerned about what happened to Carly. She maybe had been a little bit overprotective. He also talked about the biological father, how Carly didn't really want to be with him, that he had forced Carly to drink when she was 12 years old. Um, Maybe they were trying to get her out of that custody agreement with the dad, where she had to visit him. But the dad had drug abuse. He couldn't really talk about it. Mental health issues. There was an objection because, again, that would be hearsay that he heard it from the mom. So that was also why the mom had the pew pew under her bed to protect her if her ex-husband arrived. But to me, kind of heartbreaking to see this man really not wanted. He tried to smile at Carly sometimes. To me, it seems like he was trying to reassure her. The grandparents, I believe it is, sits behind Carly, tries to smile at her, make faces at her, kind of make her comfortable. It seems like it's yeah, it's just heartbreaking to see him understand. It reminded me kind of like Zachariah Anderson and his daughter. Even though she was testifying against him, he was sitting there trying to calm her down. It was kind of a weird one. The rest of the day was technical. The coroner's office, gunshot residue, DNA, nothing really in it. We know who did it. She has insanity plea. That means, yes, I did it, but I was insane. So we didn't really need those technical evidence, but they needed on the books. The last was the lead investigator, and he went through all of the stuff we had heard before. But in the end, they produced a video that, in my mind, changed a lot of how I perceive this case. It's a kitchen video showing the kitchen and a little bit of the living room you could look into. We see Carly and her mom coming home. Carly goes outside with the dogs. The mom goes into her bedroom. Carly's bedroom. We know from a witness that that witness had advised Carly was high that day. It looks like the mom finds her vape pens, puts them in her bedroom, goes back to Carly's bedroom. A few times she comes out, peeks through the blinds to see if Carly's out back, goes back in Carly's room. Carly comes in with the dogs, turns around the corner, looks, seems like she goes into her room or goes near her room and see her mom in there, purposefully walks back across the opening we can see in the video. Right after, comes back with something on her back, scouts the kitchen, walks across that opening. Then we hear the first pew. Then we hear the mom screaming. Then we hear pew pew. The dogs gets upset. Carly comes back, still with her hand on the back, puts it on a stool, whatever she's carrying, takes her mom's phone, texts her stepdad, again, picks up what she has behind her back, clearly concealing it from the camera we are looking from, and walks back into her bedroom. In my mind, that's when she arranged the body with the hands across the chest and covers her head with a towel. That was the ending of the state's case to me. That was what I needed to see. To me, she didn't seem insane. There was no hullabaloo going on. There was nothing. Comes in, looks, goes to the other room, comes back, pew, pew, pew. I can't see an insanity defense in that. Jamie and I had an argument. Mom and dad will be fine again, kids. But I can't see an insanity defense fly. But the state rested. Defense will go today. I am very interested in seeing what their defense will be because the judge, we had an after trial meeting where the judge said, well, I shouldn't allow this testimony in, but to give her all the benefits of the doubt, to give her the best possible defense, I will let this in, and I hope the state will appeal this decision. I never heard a judge say before, my ruling is bad, please appeal it. But he says, I don't have case law to throw out this evidence. We have to see. We're going to start today at 9:30 Eastern, and defense is on. I can't see them going for long. I can't see her take the stand. We'll probably get, I don't know, they can't really go into much. They want to elicit that the uh, Lexapro, I think the name is. I called it provolone yesterday. The Lexapro made her do it, so it's going to be very interesting to see how uh, they will spin that, because that doc can only speculate about it, and the judge will have him in very short range, is my opinion. So maybe closing arguments already before lunch today. Very short case, but also, in my opinion, after watching the video, I don't see insanity. Please come tell me I'm wrong. We will be going 9:30 Eastern. Thanks for watching.